upside down panel. Hi, sweet friends. I hope you are well. This week, we have gotten our first taste of properly chilly weather. We have had to bundle up, and it occurred to me all of a sudden, I need to get this little home library of mine so much cozier than it is because winter is coming and I fully plan to hibernate in this room. I don't want to go outside. I'm just gonna like lean into all of my homebody ways. And before I can do that, I definitely need a few more cozy elements in this room. So if you've spent a little bit of time here, you know that we moved into this house about a year ago. I can't even believe it's been a year. But at the time we moved, we had a lot going on in our life. It was a little bit nutty with the baby on the way and all the things. So we did not have time to settle in. And so we kind of just put up a few things and then had to just go into baby mode. And we've been in the fog, in the baby fog for all of these months, and things are finally settling down. We're all getting our routines. We're all kind of getting, the lay of the land with this house, our own little corners. And I think it's finally time for me to dedicate some energy into making this space a little bit cozier. I have a few different little pockets, and it is a very sweet room as it is, but I just feel like there's so much more I could do to make it just that much cozier with like lighting and more bookshelves, maybe a reading chair, organizing my desk, maybe figuring out a new way to put my books. There's just so many little things that I want to do. Obviously, there still needs to be some pictures put up. There's a lot, and I just thought, let's chip away at it slowly. This is a part 3 of this video. Part 1, I kind of showed you an empty room tour when we were first moving in, putting up the books initially. In part 2, I was like messing around with the orientation of my desk and a few other things. And now I feel like in part 3, we can actually get to some of the more fun projects in this room. So thank you so much for joining me, and let's see what we can do about making this space a little bit cozier before winter properly arrives. You will have seen this wallpaper up for about a month now, I think is when I put it up. So what happened was randomly one night, it was like 9 p.m. or something. Everybody was asleep. I was thinking I was going to wind down for the night, but somehow I ended up getting like a second wind, and I just looked at the rolls of wallpaper on the floor and I was like, it is time. I am just going to put this up tonight. And I'd been sitting on it for so long because I really thought I was going to hire somebody to do it, because I looked around, there's so many funny things on the walls, the crown molding, some of the different bookshelves and built-ins and all the doors I have in here. And I just thought, there's no way I'll be able to wallpaper this myself and get around all of those weird edges. But that night, I have no idea what happened. I was like, nope, I'm going to do this. I can do this. Like, it's just wallpaper, it's fine. And so I just like picked up a roll and I started doing it. And I thought it was going to be a little tricky between where the lines match up, just because this is such an intricate design. And I didn't know how it was going to be to match up the different panels. But you know what? This wallpaper actually turned out to be super, super forgiving. You can't actually see, but I've made a lot of mistakes around this room where I've put this wallpaper up. Like, there are so many parts where it doesn't match up properly. I think I even have like an upside down panel in one of these spaces. I would love if one of you could find which panel is upside down. But the thing is, you can't really tell, like, unless you're looking at it very, very closely. And that has been such a miracle with this wallpaper. So if you are interested in getting it, I'm going to link it below. I just think it is so, so beautiful. It just turned out way better than I could have ever expected. It's exactly the vision I had in my head. I wanted like a very silhouette flower design, and these peonies turned out to just be absolutely stunning, because the idea is now when I put up things against this wallpaper, they'll just really pop. And that's why I didn't want like color on the wallpaper, because I fully intend to add color with all of the other things that I'm gonna put up. So I just wanted it to be like this like dramatic background, but also not take away too much from the other decor I want to put up. So I'm so pleased with how it turned out. It's such a good material as well. It's not like cheap at all. I don't know. I'm just really happy with how it all turned out. I'm also very pleasantly surprised that I was able to do it. I'm not really like a handy kind of gal, and that's not because I don't, believe I can do it. It's just not my preferred thing to do. So I was really proud that I was able to just like kind of knock it out. There are a couple of spaces on that wall that I have not finished, because on this wall, there's like a few little electrical things that we need the electrician to come over and rewire and do. So I didn't want to have to do the work twice. So I left that wall still blue. And then there's like a tiny sliver over here that maybe we can get to in this video that I want to finish, where the reading chair is going to go. But other than that, at least the main wall is done. And then this wall over here, this was the wall I was the most worried about, because there are so many panels on it. And I was like, oh God, it's really, if I do this badly, then you're going to be able to notice so quickly, just because the wall is so huge. But again, it's been so forgiving, and I'm so thankful for that. I'm so thankful that this wallpaper has turned out the way it did, because there are definitely some spots in here that are very janky, if you will, but it's forgiving, so you can't really tell when you look at it from far away. And I'm pretty pleased with what's happened so far. So now what we can do is think about what we actually want to put on the walls. Okay, so now that we can play with what to put up on the walls, I want to show you something that has been living in this room that I have not shown in any of my videos. I've just like been kind of creative with the angles, but little did you know, on the floor of my study, this bookshelf has been living here for the last couple of weeks, because I've been thinking about putting it up on this wall over here. So if you have been around since my other study in the other house, these bookshelves actually lived behind me, behind my desk. I'll show you a little picture here. And I had rainbow books all up, and it just was so stunning, such a visual effect. And then when I moved into this study, I just thought they were a little bit too modern, and I didn't know if they would fit. But now I'm kind of thinking we should take these shelves and like put them up here. I don't think I want to put all of them up. I'm thinking, what if we put one here and then maybe another one? But I don't like even numbers of things. So I would need like 3, but then I think 3 would be too much, because I also want to get, if you envision over there in that corner, like a big gold mirror, like one of those round ones, because I feel like the other thing is I also need to add some different shapes into this room. Like everything's looking a little too boxy and a little too like square. So I was thinking over there, I could put like a round mirror and then maybe some different picture frames, and then have the bookshelves to the right of it. And so you get a little bit of variety, a little bit of visual interest, and not make the entire wall just like the bookshelves like I had in the study before this one. One of them up. I have it kind of slanted because I don't want it to like fall over. Obviously it's not fastened to the wall, but I don't know. What do we think? Like, is it obnoxious in this room, or is it going to add a lot more character to this wall? Because the other thing is, over here on the fireplace, I have so many picture frames. I don't want to do like a gallery wall of just like art and picture frames, because I kind of already have that like vibe going on over here above the fireplace. And so I thought, you know, just to like change things up a little bit, the bookcases would just make it a little bit more interesting, and then also practically give me space to put more books. I have a lot of books in my hobby closet over here, and it would just be nice to be able to display some of my more favorite reads. I like being surrounded by books. It's like the coziest, happiest feeling in the world to like come into this room, see all the books, and just know that you know, I have this little cozy corner. So I just feel like it would be so nice to display some of my favorites, some of my special editions, some, you know, other. Also, on a side note, look at how stunning the foliage has gotten this week. So pretty, but as you can see, there's so many leaves on the ground. This is probably the last of it for us for this season until next year, but I just sometimes can't believe this is what I get to look at outside my window. Just so beautiful. I'm so grateful. Actually need to like move this desk a bit forward, but what do we think? I'm just gonna like be at my little desk working, and they'll just be behind me. This is like bringing back such memories from my old study, just like having all my books behind me. I've just leaned this one up as well. I'm a little nervous standing here actually because I don't want it to like lean over, but obviously when they're up they'll be like fully upright and like flush on the wall. But let me get out of the way so you can see properly. Okay, let's just leave the bookshelves alone for a little bit. I'm gonna live with it for a couple of days, see how I feel, and then make some decisions, but I'm glad they're at least up. I wanna switch gears and now talk about the reading chair. I am so excited. This is probably the single piece of furniture that I've been the most excited about, but also the most indecisive about. But I finally did make a decision. I have a clip here that I filmed a couple of weeks ago when I actually placed the order. So let me insert that clip here. So finally made a decision about the chair that's gonna go over here in this corner. This is where I'm hoping to make a little reading nook just by the window, by the bookshelves, just get it really cozy. And for the longest time, I just could not make a decision between a round chair, a rectangle chair, or, you know, two chairs. In my previous study, I'll put up a photo here, I had this long gray couch and it was so beautiful and so comfortable. But the problem is in this study, I can't put that couch here, even though there's plenty of space. It just would cover the radiator, and obviously living in New England, I need the heat in the wintertime. So it just wasn't ideal to have it here, even though the shape would fit so nicely. The other thing is in that study, there was a flat wall behind that sofa, so it worked nicely. Whereas here, I really like the shape of this bay window, so I don't really want to cover that whole thing up. So that couch just was not going to work here for a lot of reasons. So we used it in a different part of the house. So this time I thought, and again, I was going back and forth with like a really big round chair, a rectangle chair. And then I thought, okay, should I do two? But I was thinking about it and I was like, you know what? I'm the only one that really spends a lot of time in this study, and I want to be able to kick my feet out, to really like sink into this chair and like get cozy. So I decided to just get like one big piece right here. We'll see how it turns out, but I'm so excited to have finally made a decision and be trying something out. Now, who knows what it's going to look like when it arrives, and if it's going to be comfortable or soft, or I don't know, all of the things, but at least we're making some progress, getting one step ahead with having made some sort of decision. And I'm so excited to show you when it arrives. So now that it's been a little time, I think it is set to be delivered pretty soon, and I cannot wait to show you. The anticipation has been building, and at this point, I'm like, you know what? Any chair will do, and I will be happy with whatever arrives, because the idea of just sitting and reading and getting cozy in here is just exactly what I need going into this cold weather. So came outside to take a little break. This foliage is just unreal. Living in New England will never get old. I also love the way that leaves look on the ground, just to like contrast against the green grass. So stunning. Oh my goodness, friends, she's here and she's beautiful. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe it. After seeing this space empty for so long, it's kind of strange to have something filling it up, but also feels so right at the same time. Let me show you what we are working with. Ready? Ta-da! Two ways. So this is the upright position, and you can have it as like a smaller chair where you can sit upright, but then you can make it a bit of a lounger. So you just push this back, get your little pillows, and then it becomes like a longer lounger. And you can like put your feet out, take a little nap, whatever it might be, share a little cozy moment with somebody. My little munchkins can sit here with me. And then it's just like this super long chair. I love it. Look at it. My gosh. I also think this material is going to be really great because it seems like the type that's like really easy to clean and get spills off of. I found a lot of other chairs that were like super fluffy and had that like t-shirt material, and I just wasn't sure how spills would do on them because I do obviously intend to have like some tea and different things on here, and I just didn't know how it would stand up with some of those other materials. So I think this one's gonna perform really, really well. To consider is this rug. I don't like the way it looks now. It just seems like I need to get like a bigger rug that might go all the way up to here just to make the chair feel like it's part of this space. But looking for rugs online is probably one of my least favorite things. And not just online, but also in person, because then it's like, how do you lug it home? And then if you want to return it, it's like such a faff to like return it, whether you ordered it online or in the store. So buying rugs is just like not one of my favorite things to do. So I think maybe I could try to move this rug. So if you see right now, it's quite far by that wall. And I think when the bookcases go up, I'm leaning towards keeping them. So I think when they go up, they're going to need to sit on the actual floor to make sure they're like sturdy and to give me the flexibility of moving different things. So I think I'll push the rug out, and if I bring it to more of the center of the room, then I think it could come out further to like here. And then maybe that will make the room feel like it goes a little bit better together. And then maybe possibly I could avoid having to get a bigger rug. That would be like a dream come true. because the wood is kind of nice. It'd be nice to see a little bit of it. I don't want like a huge rug to overtake the entire room, but as it is right now, it just looks a bit funny with the chair not having something to anchor to. So maybe I'll first try moving the rug and see how that goes. And then the last thing to consider with the chair is obviously I need to style it a bit, get some different pillows, maybe a nice throw blanket. And then I want to get maybe some sort of like end table and put like a pretty vase of flowers or, you know, something to bring like height variety to this side. This ottoman I've had here forever since my previous study. It's just been hanging out here. I don't think I'm going to keep it here just because it doesn't really go, but we'll worry about that at a different time once I actually get the end table, or maybe like a small little bookcase that I could turn into like my TBR bookcase. I don't really want to get like a cart. I think a nice end table or small bookcase that I could use as like an end table on top, or I don't know, different things to play with, but we definitely need to style it a little bit. But nonetheless, I am so excited to actually have a chair and to maybe do a bit of reading in it later today. Of variety to the room, and I think especially once the books are on there and I'm able to like display some of my favorite books and just like be surrounded by the world of books will be like my favorite feeling in the world. And I just think it also made this room a little cozier because I ended up having to move my desk a little bit further into the room, and it's closer to the fireplace, closer to the new chair and the books and the window, and I just feel like everything got a little bit more snug, and that's exactly what we're going for. We just want it to be super cozy and a space that feels warm. And I think before, excuse me, when I had all that space in the middle there, it just kind of felt strange. Like everything was like hugging the walls. And I think I read somewhere like a designer tip that was like, you actually want to bring things in towards the room and have like different focal points. You don't want everything touching the walls. And I think I buy into that because it is feeling a little bit cozier just having, you know, things a little bit closer together and in the middle of the room. The other thing I wanted to work on is the lighting in this room. As you can tell, it is much later now. It is nighttime, and this is usually when I hang out in this study. So that's why I wanted to test out some lighting at this time of day. Right now, I just have this little standing lamp in the corner, and as you can tell, the white cast and just like it just doesn't look great. It doesn't set like a nice cozy tone. And then in this room, we also do have these crazy overhead lights that I'll show you. I am not somebody that likes overhead lighting at all. I mean, this is just so bright and obnoxious, and I just feel like a vampire in the sun when I'm under like overhead lighting. It's just not my favorite thing at all. So I don't usually find myself turning those on unless I'm doing some like really dainty work at night that needs a lot of lighting, but it is not my preference to have those on. So there's been no good lighting options in this room. So what I thought I could do was like try out those little strip lights that people have in their rooms, and it gives it such like a nice ambient glow, which is what I want. I want it to like glow at nighttime. And the great thing about this room is that there's like a lip all around the room in different parts, and I thought the lights could like tuck under there so nicely and be hidden, but then give this like up lighting and down lighting type of effect, if you know what I mean. And I just think it could be really, really cute. And when I'm sitting in here, it could give that really cozy vibe. And especially, you know, it's great that they are also smart lights. I can like control it from my phone. You can even change the colors if you want, set like a different mood or tone. So I just want to check these out. I only got one strip. I thought we could try it on this window wall. The lip is pretty big on this side and there's a plug right there. So I want to try it. And if it looks good, then we can put it all around the rest of the room. And I just think it could be so, so cozy if this goes according to plan. So. I just turned them on this side just to see. I didn't want to go all the way down, and I don't know, does it look a little too gimmicky? I thought they'd be a little bit more hidden than that. These ones are sticking out a little bit more than these. Like that lip is not as like much of an overhang. Okay, maybe we will try them somewhere else because I'm not loving it. I mean, I can always like hide them behind things, like I'm, planning on getting like an end table and a little bookcase and different things. So they will be hidden, but I don't know. For the purpose of this test, I'm not loving how they look over there. So maybe let's try behind these frames over here on the fireplace, or maybe on the back wall behind my desk. I don't know. There's something about them being over here that's like putting me off. It feels a little Vegas strip, a little bit, a little showgirlsy. I don't know. It's not doing what I want it to do. So let me try a different spot and see how they look. All right, let's plug it in and see, or just turn it on. Oh my goodness. Let's try a softer color. How does that look? Is that weird, or is that kind of cool? Is that still Vegas strip? What is the matter? I don't understand. Is this how it's supposed to look? This is not the ambient glow I was thinking of. Like, this just looks so wild. Okay, this is definitely not the look I'm going for. I think what I need is one of those strip lighting ordeals that is like one long strip of lights rather than these like individual little ones. I think that's what's giving it that like Las Vegas vibe, and that's not what we're going for in here. So. Okay, well, that was a bit of a bust, but I don't think all hope is lost because I'm pretty sure there's like millions of these kinds of strip lights, and I think I can find one where the whole strip lights up. I think I can find it in like a sunlight, softer glow light. I think these are intended for like bars or something. I don't know. It must be, or like a college dormitory or something, but that's okay. At least now we know what we're working with. I love the adhesive. I love that it's plug in. It's pretty simple to use. I need to go do some more research on a different type of strip lighting, but I think that could be a really good solution to making it really cozy in here, especially because all of these lips exist all around the room and they can just like tuck really nicely in there. But I am very, very tired, so I am going to call it a night for tonight, and then we will pick back up tomorrow with some other stuff. I ended up moving the shelves far apart, and I feel like this looks so much better. And then in the middle, I could have that gold mirror and maybe some like little antique frames or something with some artwork. I don't know. I feel like splitting it up really helped instead of having them pushed over. It just felt too busy and cramped. But what do we think? Like, now that I've put it this way, I feel like I really, really like it. But I'm still gonna live with it for a couple of days and see how I feel. But I've been like walking in and out of this room with them like this, and it just makes everything cozier. And I think I'm like Really bought into it. Okay, sweet friends, I'm going to love you and leave you right here because I have yapped for long enough. Coming very soon in a part 4 to this video, we will figure out the TBR end table bookcase situation. We'll also get these bookcases anchored to the wall and start styling them with some fun books. I also want to figure out the rug situation as well as the lighting for sure. And then also with my desk, I think I want to do like a reorganization, revamp type of situation. So lots more still to go, but I'm pretty pleased with what we were able to accomplish today. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will catch you next time.